Okay. For those writing to apply for jobs, this is your task 1. Remember, your writing test has 2 tasks. So the first task, which is task 1, is letter. Task 2 is essay. Right? So those for study, their task 1 is the report, which we just repeated. Task 2 still remains essay. Everyone gets to write an essay. So that's the way it goes. Now, for letter writing, how many types of letters do we have? Huh? 3? What are they?
Supposed to be 3 words.
Well, it's supposed to be 3, but 2.
Formal and informal.
Formal
But
and
then
informal.
there used to be 6 formal.
Oh, yeah. Is it what you know? So there are 3 types of letters. So we have the informal letters. We have the semi-formal letters. And we have the formal letters. Right. So these are the 3 types of letters that you may be asked questions from. We don't know, or you don't know where your questions will come from. So don't go cramming a particular template, because that way I have to shock you. You start feeling hot from the inside. Right? Now, in letter writing, whichever type of letter you're to write, you should understand that on your normal writing or letter writing, on your paper, there's something you write on the right-hand corner of your paper, right? And there's something you write on the left-hand side or corner. Also, there's something in some cases that you get to write boldly somewhere. So what do you write here normally?
For what? For formal letter.
Maybe. Address. Whose address?
Your address.
My own?
The writer's
My
address. That's
address?
if it's formal.
Writer's address. So your address.
Yes.
Okay. So normally you write your address as the writer.
Yeah.
So what do you write here?
The recipient's address.
The recipient's address. And what do we write here is some
The
subject of the letter.
subjects.
No.
Please, I want to make a video.
Number, right? Now, but in IELTS, please, you do not need this guy, you don't need this guy, neither do you need this guy. Don't. IELTS says, we don't have all the time to try and do your address. And which address are you writing? How do we confirm it? Right? So, IELTS says because of the limited time, you are to begin your letter just with salutation. Dear whoever it is you're writing to, then they call. Remember, your task 1 is meant to last for just 20 minutes. And you must write a minimum of 150 words. So, when you have just 20 minutes, you don't need to spend your ample time writing address. Right? So this will not actually count that you are smart or intelligent. It's the body of the letter. So what you need, begin your essay, begin your letter with salutation. No matter the type of letter it is that you're to write, your salutation must always start with the word dear dash. Dear, then whoever you're writing to, depending on your relationship with the person. Okay. Now, in letter writing, we need to understand the different types of letters. To begin, let's understand that there is a formula for writing letters. Alright, so here is the formula for writing letters. Generally, for all types of letters. Here is the formula. So your letter should have a salutation. Your letter should have 4 paragraphs, although 4th paragraph is optional. Then your letter should have a closure. Alright, so let's understand the template of each of these types of letters. I'm sure we know what S stands for, right? Salutation. So to begin, let's look at informal letters. What are informal letters? Who can assist to define informal letters? What are they? Prof. You know, are you denying
The official
your
letters.
title?
Official letters, right?
No, it's not. Common is not official. Common is when you write to your friends.
Sorry, yes, your friends and friends. Sorry,
I wanted to check your temperature.
please check.
Without all is there.
It's not when I'm.
Please, what are informal letters?
Letters to your family and friends.
Hmm?
To your
Yeah.
friends, to relatives.
Did I ask you examples of informal
I
letters?
swear.
Yeah, letters written to
Aha!
friends.
Thank you. Informal letters are letters we write to people who are related to us either by blood or by friendship.
Yeah.
So by blood, they are referring to family,
Family,
friendship,
friends.
friends, right?
Yes, please.
So in IELTS, your informal letter should sound informal, both in your choice of word and in the tone of the letter. IELTS expects you to express yourself as though you're having your normal talk, but they don't want you to bring in vernacular. Don't say, dear Ella,
Hey, waiting this up.
IELTS says no. In as much as we want you to feel free, right? But don't bring in slangs, don't bring in vernaculars. But express yourself using your normal informal rapport and the choice of words you want to bring in. So for that, examples of informal letters, like you listed, letters you write to your parents, letters you write to your relations, your siblings, your miblings, your piglings, and all the bling-blings, right?
All the blinks.
Then the letters you write to your friends. So it is easy to decipher informal letters in IELTS, right? Because the question will specify, write letter to your friend or your parent. So it's easy. With that, you already know that is informal. Now, how do you establish your informal letter? Let's assume you're to write to your friend. Your salutation should begin as follows. Dear, whoever it is, depending on your relationship or intimacy with the person, you write. Please understand that in informal letters, nicknames are accepted. Acronyms are welcome. Maybe CJ, TY, AD, they are accepted. So you can just write dear CJ, dear BB, however you express or call the person. Then, after your salutation, you show off what we call, by starting your paragraph 1, you show off what we call exchange of pleasantries. You know what that means now, right? Where you begin to ask the person, how are you, wish you all that, right? So after you exchange your pleasantries, you bring in a recall of past memory. Recall of past memory. You want to cite or reminisce an incident or a scenario that you both have together that is memorable to you. Then after that, you talk about your purpose of writing. Your purpose of writing is the hook in your paragraph 1. The hook, the punchline, right? But you don't need to give detail at this point, just introduce it, right? Now, after your paragraph 1, your paragraph 2 brings your detailed purpose of writing. So to show your detailed purpose of writing, you have to indicate it's quite short. Okay. Okay, to show your detailed purpose of writing, please factor in facts and figures. Facts and figures. Then after your detailed purpose of writing, bring in your paragraph 3, which has to do with proffering solution or stating your preferred solution. So to proffer your solution or state your preferred solution, you are expected to show off when and how you want the situation to be resolved. Okay? Then after that, you bring in your fourth paragraph. Although your fourth paragraph is optional actually. It's optional. But what you do in the fourth paragraph, if necessary, is you showing off your conclusion. Alright? Bring in your conclusion, then your closure. For an informal letter, how do you close your letter? You can simply say, best regards, then just a name. That name can be a nickname. You can as well say, warm wishes. Okay, it could be best wishes, warm regards. Alright, anyhow you want to use that. Remember, there has to be comma, then you indicate what you need. So let's change this to best wishes, comma, then warm regards. Any of these templates can be used to close your informal letters. So let's look at the practical templates of the informal letter. First, we said you have to start that with the salutation, which is dear. It could be dear TJ, dear BB, dear, acronyms are well accepted, or it could be dear Toby. Then after that, you say how are you. So when I write how are you, what do I end it with?
Question mark.
Question mark. How have you been at your new job? What are you ending with? How have you been and your new job? What do I end it with?
Question mark.
That's what I need. What do I end it with?
Full stop.
Full stop. Full stop. Agreed? Please, do you agree with them? Don't go with the crowd. Do you agree with them? Why do you want to put full stop there? Why is it full stop?
It's not a question.
What is it?
Like, it's an assurance that you know the person is fine. So you are ending there. Even, no, it's working, no worry. They are still running.
30 BG guys. It's not an assurance. It is a rhetorical expression that doesn't require an answer. Do you understand?
Yes.
So it's not a question. It is just a rhetorical expression. You are confirming. I trust you are well.
Well, yes.
Right? You are not expecting any response. So it doesn't need a question mark. It just needs a full stop, and that's it. So that's for expression of extending of pleasantries. Then after that, recall of past memory. We just fix something like, could you still remember the last rendezvous we had at so park? The fun memories keep coming back to me, and I look forward to having more of such moments if time permits. You are recalling something. Then after that, however, TJ, I'm actually writing to inform you that I've been tasked to attend a seminar there in Canada, Ontario to be specific, and in view of this, I'm seeking your assistance to secure an affordable accommodation for a 2-week period. What's the purpose of writing? So you don't know it, huh?
To ask for his assistance to secure the job.
That's the purpose of writing. To seek for assistance or guidance or direction on securing accommodation. So at this point, you are done with your paragraph 1. Please, do you understand this? Paragraph 2, you now begin to talk about your trip and the accommodation itself. Being the social and so personnel in my office, the manager feels I need a little more exposure about running that particular designation. Hence, he has fixed me for a seminar that is forthcoming, dated for maybe or scheduled for so and so date. The venue coincidentally happens to be your city here in Canada. Of course, I'm referring to Ontario, right? The date for this program is scheduled or slated to run from 4th to maybe 10th or whatever date, 14th. And for me, I've never been to Canada. This will be my maiden visit or first visit to the city. But I'm sure with your experience and having lived there for a couple of years, I'll need your assistance on how to get an accommodation that is quite that's not pricey but affordable, that will be in line with my budget, right, as approved by the organization, right? So I'm meant to stay in that accommodation for about 9 days, as I'll be returning back to Nigeria or your country on the 10th day. Please, you understand this? You are building this story. That's your paragraph 2. Now, all of this, from 4th to maybe 14th, figure of, you now write the month in full. Please don't abbreviate, right? And for this, I'm looking for a quite an affordable accommodation that falls within the budget of maybe 500 CAD. Do you understand me?
Yes.
You are putting this in figure. Please don't make your writing appear all in spelling. No. You need to factor figures. Alright? Now, you can go to paragraph 3. For this accommodation, I would prefer to have every payment and arrangement concluded on or before 30th of so and so. We want to clear everything by the end of that month, so that on the 4th, before 4th, you know everything is clear, right? So you are fixing this, and then the accommodation should be situated at an environment that has a level of security presence, right? In case of any mishap. And then knowing that the time of year that I'll be coming is usually pretty cold, I would want a functional heater. You want to factor in things you prefer to be in the room, right? You know, don't make it like the normal Nigerian heater. How far now? How is man ballet? All of that are family. Let me show. They want you to be well detailed, right? So you factor in the date you want the arrangement of the acquisition to be well concluded, how the payment should be made. Should it be wired, or the person can make that payment, then upon arrival you reimburse the person by cash. Then you want to also establish that your arrival on the 4th, you should have access to the apartment, so that on the 10th or 13th, when you be leaving, you are handing the key over to the owner of the house. Then you need functional heater. You need your house to be situated in a security, maybe security-friendly environment. Then you want the house to be in an environment that has access to road network for transport or transportation or ease of transport. You want it to be located in an environment that you have easy access to shops or malls, church if you are a church goer. Then if you also want other facilities such as recreational centers or parks, you just express what you want in your paragraph 3. Remember, you are to profile solution or state your preferred solution. Then you are also indicating when and how, right? All of these should be factored in. Then your paragraph 4. If you are to have a 4th paragraph, it is optional. So the only reason you would have it is if your 3rd paragraph is not lengthy. If it's not lengthy, you can conclude your letter in the 3rd paragraph. That means you do not need a 4th paragraph. But if your 3rd paragraph is lengthy, then you should have a 4th one. Your 4th paragraph should not exceed 2 sentences. Your 4th paragraph should not exceed 2 sentences. So what do you write in your 4th paragraph? Thank you so much for always being there for me. Knowing you has been a blessing, and I look forward to reciprocating all the kind gesture you show. However you want to complete, it's your friends, you know how you do, alright? So after that, best wishes, write KC or CJ. Then, or you use warm regards. Then however you express yourself, you indicate that. And that's it. Informal letter, is it clear?
Yes, please.
Okay, so let's go to semi-formal letters as well as the formal letters. Alright, so let's begin by understanding what a semi-formal letter is, as well as a formal letter. What's a semi-formal letter? Who knows? Semi-formal letter? What do you think it means?
Next, is it between formal and informal?
When you're driving on the highway, you're standing in between two. Right? Yes, sort of. Semi-formal letter has 75% formal features and 25% informal features. Both put together, we have a semi-formal letter. So for these 25% informal features, you will find it in paragraph 1 and where else?
salutation. You can say, dear Mr.
No.
And a form.
Basically, you find it in paragraph 1. I find it in your closure. Of informal features. But this particular 75%, everything from here to this point is basically formal. They share the same features. You understand? So let's look at how it works. What's a semi-formal letter? It's the type of letter we write to people that we have official relationship with. Semi-formal letters are letters we write to people that we have official relationship with. Examples of semi-formal letters, these are letters we write to our former employers, our current employers or superiors at the office. Letters we write to our children's school management. Letters we write to our lecturers or professors. Letters we write to our landlords. Letters we write to our religious clergy. Letters we write to our traditional rulers. These are semi-formal letters. Now, what are formal letters? They are letters we write to people occupying official positions that we have no relationship with. Okay? Examples of formal letters, we are talking about letters for employment, letters you write to banks to open an account, letters to bid for contracts, letters you write to media houses, letters you write to your Mr. President, and the likes. So let's look at how the body of your semi and formal letters will be. Remember, in semi-formal letter, you already know who is there, right? Since you have some official relationship. So your salutation must begin as follows. Dear, perhaps, Mr. You know, this name
doesn't fight.
Okay, so this is a way to address someone when you're writing a semi-formal letter. Dear Mr. Fish. I don't know who will get that type of letter. It could be Dear Mrs. Teddy. It could also be Dear Miss Peace. It can be Dear Miss Tracy. Then for formal letters, there is only one template of salutation, and that's usually Dear Sir / Madam. Don't use Ma. Ma is African. Now, if you look at the template for semi-formal letters, you will notice that the person's marital status is indicated. Mr., Mrs., Miss, and all that. And that's because you know about the person. You know the person, you have official relationship with the person. And you know the person's name. So you include all of that. But the formal letter, you don't know who is there. You do not know if it's a man or a woman. So that's why you impute the two titles. So whichever goes for the person, then the person will acknowledge. Please, do you understand this?
Yes, please.
Then for paragraph 1, you see in informal letter we have compulsory EOP, right?
Yes.
In semi-formal letter, there is optional EOP. There is optional EOP. And after that, your purpose of writing. Do you understand? But for formal letter, you must go straight to your purpose of writing. You have no right to ask the person, how are you, sir? You don't even know.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
So go straight to your purpose of writing. Then for paragraph 2, in semi-formal letter, you are talking about your detailed purpose of writing. And this would require you to bring in facts and figures. Now, same thing is applicable right here. Then when you go to paragraph 3, we are talking about you preferring solution or indicate your preferred solution. And to establish this, please factor in when and how you want the issue to be resolved. Then it is the same thing for the formal letters. Your paragraph 4 automatically is about conclusion. And it's still the same right here. Your closure for semi-formal letter, the best template for semi-formal letter is yours sincerely. Then your comma, your first and your last name. Only.
No title.
No title, no signature. But if it is a formal letter, the best option is yours faithfully, comma, you must sign, append your signature. Then your first and your last name.
Informal is the sign, sir.
No.
Informal, just one name is enough. It could be your nickname, it could be your acronym. Then you can as well choose to use best wishes, warm regards, even in a semi-formal letter. You already have that relationship. Alright? So, these are the templates for semi-formal letters and the formal letters. Please, you would receive the samples of the letters. Please go through the samples. You will understand the templates. Very straightforward. Just go straight. If there's anything you don't understand, always send me a message.
Which one's on number?
This is my primary.